Christmas bottle?
Oh, you're kidding me. September.
Kyle Lafferty.
Are you joking me?
Is that right?
I know, it's not right.
Anybody else?
Leash, was it?
Like, that is one of the most stupid questions.
Darius Vassell?
Seriously, you all need to just stay quiet. This is getting really annoying doing this quiz.
What is going on here?
Yes, welcome along to the shoutiest segment on a multitude of platforms. It's the scintillating, it's the stupefying, it's the splendido crappy quiz. 3 weeks in a row, lads. I don't know who we think we are here. Not to mention that last week we were flooded with what might be described as nice comments on YouTube. Even Nathan Murphy had a redemption arc. So, I don't know. At this rate, I think we might have to think about renaming the quiz again.
Define nice comments.
That went
Michael.
so well last time. Things like, well done, Nathan, or, you know.
I missed Adrian. Where's Adrian?
There was none of that. No, that's the usual thing. People are normally looking for the negative. It just didn't really exist last week. So I don't know about changing the quiz name though, because that went so well last time, remember?
Yeah, and also going 3 weeks in a row, we can no longer beg for a sponsor at this point to save the crappy quiz. It seems we're keeping it alive ourselves.
Sure, bring a sponsor along anyway. Sure, we'll give you a lovely read. Right, now to introduce the most important part of any crappy quiz, our crappy quizzers. And first up is a man whose mini break in Enniscrone last week resulted in missing one of the greatest victories in his county's history. The omens are real and always been one to take one for the team. He's already booked himself on a trip to Paris next weekend when they play Dublin, and if they make the final, he's off to the Bahamas for a week. A man who'd do anything for his county. It's Shane the Monaghan Machete Hannon.
When they make the final.
Exactly. So that Bahamas trip is booked, is it?
Bahamas trip booked. No, I will be in Croke Park with the rest of County Monaghan next weekend. So lock up your houses if you're leaving Monaghan, but someone leave the light on, because I'm telling you the entire county is going to be in Croke Park next weekend.
I do like the way you're stepping this up, Shane.
That'll be a sad drive home.
3 month anniversary Enniscrone. 4 month anniversary Paris.
Yeah.
5 month anniversary Bahamas.
Oh wow.
There's pressure on month 6 here.
She want to be worth it for those kind of trips. Jesus.
Oh,
She is worth it.
You're right, she can watch YouTube.
Easy though, he's only 3 months in with that kind of comment.
Definitely worth it. She's L'Oreal because she's worth it. Yeah.
Our next contestant was rocked this week after a celebrity stalking incident. James Hoban, 2001. Love when you're watching the quiz on the way home and a Silla Wallahan looking figure gets off your train in Tullamore. In response, he's used his hefty appearance fee to hire a bodyguard to accompany him on all Irish Rail journeys from going forward. He's happy to pose for selfies, guys, but with permission, and please just don't touch him. Please welcome Larry Burr O'Callaghan.
Well, I like that Jamie at least got in contact. There was one night where I think it was after we'd done a tangent and I was sitting beside someone who was watching it on YouTube on the bus going down the Keys, and you're there kind of going, do I look over it? Do I not look over it? Does this guy realise I'm sitting beside him
That's
right
like
now?
the guy Rainn Wilson, you know, the actor from the US Office, plays Dwight Schrute. He was on a plane and literally the guy beside him was watching the US Office and he just didn't say anything to him. He filmed himself watching the Office with him.
I remember
as he had a mask on. So that's basically you. That's your life, Will. You're a famous man in the Midlands and across the country.
Obviously the guy in the bus either didn't recognise me or he was far too polite. I reckon he just didn't recognise me.
Have you had any weird experiences on the train? From off the ball fans? From off the ball fans in particular? Not any general weird experiences?
No, I've chatted to a few people who are like, oh, you work for Off the Ball. See, once we went in Vision, that was the problem. When you're on the radio, no one knew. You could go entirely under the radar. And generally, it's not about me. They'll ask, like, who do you not like in the office?
What about those power rankings? They're usually given out to us about the power rankings, but sure, look, we'll get to that.
I did have one of them a go with fans.
Oh, wow.
You're one of the power rankings, and they were very reasonable people.
Shane attempted a nice segue there, but Will wouldn't let him. But speaking of out of control egos, our final contestant has been insufferable this week after the Football Pod live show sold out quicker than Taylor Swift. Hopefully he knows by now that any outside bravado won't be tolerated in the shark infested waters of the crappy quiz. Promising to actually listen to questions and rules for once, he's back this week after an extended absence, and it's nothing to do with the fact that 90% of off the ballers are on holidays this week. Please give it up for the crack of Cratlow, Tommy Rooney.
What an honour to be back. Wow, brought in from the cold. Back for the crappy quiz.
Now let's see how we get on, Tommy.
Tommy's in trouble.
We did sell out in 3 hours, but I haven't really been that loud about it, have I?
Not yet. You were talking about opening Hill 16 for the overflow.
Well, we're looking at a night 2 and possibly a night 3, but there's been protests from the Croke Park residents. They want to have their Friday night free.
How many times a year do they open an alley stand? Like once, twice really, isn't it? So now 3 times for the Football Pod.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, we're going to have fun.
I hate to open. Sorry, go on, Tommy.
No, go on.
I hate to open a gaping wound here, but Tommy is he's a marked man in Monaghan at the moment. Monaghan were 9th in the power rankings, having made the quarterfinals, the last 8. They're now
Remember you moaning about this.
They're now in the semi-finals, and where do you think they are in the last 4? They're 5th. So I think if Monaghan beat the Dubs, Monaghan would still probably be 3rd, maybe. They might move up to 3rd or 4th, maybe.
One second, not to get off the beaten track here. So Monaghan won a game on penalties and went halfway up
4
the
places.
power
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Well, listen,
It was a big jump. And look, I actually felt dirty making that jump the last day. And I just want to say one thing about the power rankings. There's nothing personal about the power rankings, Shane, but I will tell you one thing. I went to school in Monaghan.
I know. Did you?
Right?
Did some poor teacher get on the wrong side of you or something?
Let me just say, I was in Croke Park with all my primary school buddies in 2005.
Oh, yeah.
When Jap Finley sent that ball into the air and Mark Ward dropped it into the back of the net in the Division 2 final, and my life was made hell for years. I'm not saying it's payback.
Well, you just said it.
rankings.
You just said it. It all makes sense now. That's why.
I do not care. I do not care if any Monaghan people are giving me grief.
Little 12-year-old Tommy Rooney holding on to his pain
Because you've had
as
it all
he's
your
30
life.
years of
Yeah.
age now. Yeah.
As ever, the format is the classic crappy quiz with a series of questions that a range of teams, then on to the slip and slide of trivia, the egalitarian, never unfair rapid fire round. You can podcast the crappy quiz on the Off the Ball app, and if you're listening on radio, well then watch this farce unfold in glorious technicolour by subscribing to our channel on YouTube. Please send any questions you have via postcard to Crappy Quiz Quizmaster, Off the Ball Towers, Marconi House, Diggs Lane, Dublin 2. After the deluge, my desk wasn't able to hold anymore, and then nothing for the last 2 weeks. Where are your cereal boxes, folks? Send them in. Let's get to it. The not boring questions round, never multiple choice. Today's questions all relate to the ever prestigious pre-World Cup friendlies in honour of Tala last night. Question 1 for Shane. Ireland's Rugby World Cup warm-ups have never exactly been shrouded in glory, but the 57-15 defeat at Twickenham ahead of the 2019 World Cup was perhaps the most infamous. Who started at out-half for Ireland that day?
2019 World Cup warm-up.
57-15.
World Cup warm-up. I don't think we started with our strongest 15, if memory serves me right. And I know the man I spoke to on OTB AM this morning was...
This is like the opposite of Adrian Barry when he just sits there in silence. And
Well, you want to fill some airtime while I'm thinking, don't I? You don't want some silence in the car.
I'm intrigued to listen to
I think he's helping the radio
the process so that I can tell him how wrong
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
because he's way off the beaten.
No, I'm not saying it.
Possibly. Well, I have to go for it now because I've said it. He was on the show this morning. Roscommon man. He was in that 2019 World Cup squad. I'm nearly sure. Jack Hardy.
Buzzer wrong. Yeah, it was Ross Byrne, kind of famously, because that was his whole. A few redemptions for Ross Byrne have
Fall from
come
grace.
since that game and a couple of others. So
had
Jack Hardy did
literally-
come off the bench though. Johnny was injured, Joey Carberry was injured, Ireland were down to, but it probably cost him his place in the plane that day. And then Jack Hardy obviously got on and played a couple of games.
Carthy played well against Wales the week before, which didn't help Byrne either.
Okay, no points for Shane. Question 1 for Tommy. Ireland's pre-2000. What?
Was Will not second?
A moan already. Not even a question.
You're second.
Does it
here.
matter?
I changed the order. I changed the order of the intros to fit in your massive ego and give you the grand.
God, that's kind
intro.
of that's a bit like
You
Gary
weren't ready.
Mullen and Callum Cummiskey switching the order of the penalty takers.
Yeah.
We're going for the rest of the quiz. It's Shane, Tommy, Will in that order. Okay.
Right, okay,
Ireland's
fair enough.
pre-2002 World Cup friendlies hosted some of the best atmospheres Lansdowne Road has ever known. I was at most of them. The crowd lost the run of itself though, in part. A little bit in the game against Denmark. This question is written very badly, folks, by me. When they started booing every time they thought what Rangers player got on the ball.
I thought this isn't my answer, but I did we play a friendly in Craven Cottage before that World Cup? No, or was that just something random later in the mid 2000s?
Feels later to me.
The Oman.
Okay, maybe later.
Yeah. Ireland played Nigeria, Denmark anyway in Lansdowne Road. I was at both of those games, and there was definitely another one somewhere.
Oh, was it Peter Lovenkrantz?
It was Peter Lovenkrantz. No bonus point here, but first name in. What player were they actually booing?
Were they booing? Oh, so it would have been a left winger, Danish winger.
Nah, you know, if you know, you know.
No, it wasn't John Dahl, was it?
Peter Madsen. So this, by the way, I've a little. This is like one of those infamous nights when like Irish, like Celtic republicanism lost the run of itself in Lansdowne Road, right? I was there, and can I just say that it was a great night. Ireland were winning. It was a lot of fun. The announcement said that it was Peter Lovencrantz that came on when it in fact was Peter Madsen.
Okay.
There was kind of a few, like it was like a couple of thousand of Egypts booing, and very quickly the stadium announcer got on the tannoy and said, "Can we please maintain our usual lads thou welcome? How dare you?" And then everybody joined in. And what actually happened was they started booing, cheering every time Denmark got the ball, and then started booing when Ireland got it. So it was actually a whole carnival atmosphere that people actually, I feel like it's one of those misreported things in history.
Yeah, it's kind of giddy last day of school energy.
You've corrected the record.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Anyway, well done, Tommy. You're off the mark.
Thank you.
World Cup warm-ups will never get any better than Ireland's ahead of USA 94. We beat the Dutch 1-0 in Tilburg, Germany 2-0 in Hanover. Name a goal scorer from either game.
What World Cup was this?
USA 94. An away win against Holland and an away win against Germany.
Not a bad World Cup.
Setting up a win against Italy.
Shane, I can't see your top properly from here, but it kind of looks like the Euro 96 polos for England.
It's actually, would you believe, a Paul Galvin top.
It's nice.
Shout out to Paul. Yeah, dressed us. Tasty one.
I thought you were like Gaza. You're looking a bit like Gaza there, I think.
Should put the collar up as well. Dwight York.
Are they football pitches?
They probably are. Actually, they are football pitches. Yeah. There you go. The Galvin inspiration. The collar's going to be up now for the remainder of the crappy quiz.
Yeah, soccer.
Suits you.
Eric Cantona.
Let's go. What's the
Back
answer?
on point here. I will try John Aldridge.
No. Houghton?
No, okay.
Tommy Coyne scored against the Dutch, and then Tony Cascarino and Gary Kelly with his first and possibly only international goal against Germany. So hard luck, Will.
Tommy back with a bang, taking an early lead.
One up, yeah. So a rare for anyone to get off the mark in the not boring questions round these days. Round 2, Tommy, one to listen to if you weren't listening to last week's quiz. It's the second chance of the who played for both round. In this round, I'm giving you 5 pairs of teams, and all you have to do is tell me a player who has played for both teams in the Premier League. Much like the Wikipedia round that it's replaced, there is one major rule. To avoid a complete carnage of a guessing free-for-all, each contestant must state their own name before guessing the team, or guessing a player, sorry. Of course, this is the crappy quiz, so we need your crappy quiz nicknames. Monaghan Machete, Crack of Cratlow and Larry Burr. Failure to do so will eliminate you from that particular question. Just as a reminder as well, we're looking for someone who's played at least one Premier League game from each team. So the example I used last week is something that would be wrong, is John Giles if I asked you Leeds and Manchester United. Again, I can't verify beyond the Premier League era, so I needed to get a list for this. That's why we're
okay, I get you. Right.
Okay, let's start first. Whoever shouts their name. What are you laughing at?
Just laughing at Tommy. I thought there was sarcasm from Tommy there, but I think he was being dead serious. Okay, very good. Yeah. He was actually genuine.
We'll never
I'm trying
know.
to get into the zone here. It's like a 14-yard free. Come on.
Okay, if everybody is ready, whoever shouts their name first, name a player who played in the Premier League for both Arsenal and West Ham.
Larry Burr.
Larry Burr.
John Hartson.
John Hartson is correct.
Good answer.
Anybody have any off the top of their head?
Is there more points?
No, just that's
Nigel
it.
Winterburn played for both.
Nigel Winterburn, yeah.
Oh, you had it, Will.
This list is
Declan Rice very soon.
This list is remarkable. Listen, like I said, Nigel Winterburn, Ian Wright, John Hartson,
I was going to say Wright. Okay.
Lewis Boamorta, Matt Upson, Kaba Diawara, who I wouldn't have thought of again if I lived to be another 100 years, Freddie Lundberg, Davor Suker, Jeremy Ali Adair, Alex Song, Marwan Shamak, Yossi Benayoun, Carl Jenkinson, Jack Wiltshire, Lucas Fabianski, the outlier in this, Lucas Perez. Fair to say, West Ham do not learn.
No, the Wenger era just took the
Yeah.
Do you know, they're just taking rejects from Arsenal who did nothing with them, either old players or rejects, for decades.
They're letting Arsenal do their scouting for them, and it's not paying off.
And now they've given them Declan Rice. So Fabianski's probably the only one there that's actually had an impact at West Ham. Okay. Question 2. Name a player who played in the Premier League for both Crystal Palace and Everton.
Crack Cratlow.
Yes.
Andy Johnson.
Yes, well done. Quick off the mark there. This is a little bit more even. Nigel Martin, who I think was a good signing, Marcus Bent, Andy Johnson, Yannick Balassi, James McCarthy, Senk Tosun, Senk is it? Cenk, Andros Townsend.
Okay.
So Everton not.
Who could forget Andy Johnson's 2004-2005 season where he scored 18 penalties and scored 21 goals?
What a man.
Was it?
Something like that, yeah.
What a man.
Okay, so Tommy gets his second point. Will's off the mark. Shane still on 0. Name a player who played in the Premier League for both Leeds and Middlesbrough.
Monmouth.
Yes.
Jonathan Woodgate.
Yes.
Shout, Shane.
Well done. Along with
He did one there.
former future Irish international Noah Whelan, Brian Deane, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Danny Mills, Mark Viduka, Nick Barmby, Paul Ocon, Patrick Bamford and Adam Forshaw.
Bamford played.
He played
Premier
the year
League.
they were up under Karanka. He was on loan, I think.
Fair enough.
He might not have been. He might have been on loan from Chelsea, wasn't he, that year?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, name a player who played in the Premier League for both Liverpool and Stoke.
Larry
Carlo.
Bird.
Oh, I think Larry got in there first. Am I right in saying that,
Jesus.
Catherine?
That was
Maybe there's a
close.
delay in
That
the
was
line.
close. Maybe there's a delay on the line.
I heard the L before I heard the C.
And he,
Yeah, okay.
on, give
Catherine's
us
gone along with that now. It says
Right, that's rubbish.
Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adam. These are both very quick in fairness there.
That's lads. We'll listen back.
No, we won't.
The adjudicator's decision.
Who were
is
you
fine.
going to say?
Who made the judgment?
I was going to say Charlie Adam.
Michael Owen, Salif Giao, Jermaine Pennant, Peter Crouch, Glenn Johnson, Charlie Adam, Osama Asaidi, Victor Moses, forgotten about player, Joe Allen and Jerdan Shaqiri.
It's a fair few of them there over the last decade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, this is the last one. Name a player who's played in the Premier League for both Newcastle and Everton. Everton.
Larry Bird.
Crano.
I was there first on that one, definitely.
No, lads.
I think that was
Oh, okay. I do you know what?
Go on.
Producers adjudicating saying it was Tommy. I thought it was Larry. Go on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There must be an issue with the line there.
Go ahead, that. Sure, go on. What's the answer?
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon, yes, correct.
But
40
like, there must
million
be a delay
pound
in the
man.
line.
No, actually, you just got in there. to be
Both
fair.
said it straight away.
I was going for
Okay.
Big Dunk.
Who are you going for, Dunk?
Duncan Ferguson is right, yeah.
I named a
Okay.
cat after Duncan Ferguson, actually.
What you call him?
Duncan.
Peter Beardsley, Steve Watson, Mark Hoddiger. Again, very forgotten player. David Ginola, Alessandro Pistoni, Gary Speed, Duncan Ferguson, Louis Saha, Sylvan Distan, Dan Gosling, Christian Atsu, Solomon Rondon, Andros Townsend and Anthony Gordon. 2 of those not with us anymore,
Yeah, it's mad,
unfortunately.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
round.
the scores after round 2: Shane 1 point, Will 2 points, Tommy 3 points. We'll be back in 1 minute at the pass the parcel round.
Chris Waddle.
Oh, you're kidding me. September.
Kyle Lafferty.
Are you joking me?
Is that right?
I know it's not right.
Anybody else?
Leash, was it?
Like, that is one of the most stupid questions.
Darius Vassell.
Seriously, you all need to just stay quiet. This is getting really annoying doing this quiz.
What is going on here?
Welcome back to the crappy quiz. No arguing in the ad break there. I don't know what's going on.
That's
Far too civil.
That's once that I've never experienced that before, where we were civil during the ad break.
That was a good round, yeah.
That was very good. We were actually nearly hugging
What
there.
are we going to do here? Where's Barry?
Is there an argument for
Right.
that round that should go around that say like Shane gets a question, I get a question, Tommy gets a question?
Very hard to think of
get
Gordon.
that,
I don't
yeah.
know. And also, that's just the same as the pass the parcel.
The
round.
speed is the thing that's rewarded there.
Would it be worse? Would it
Go
be
on.
worse in that round making a
edit it.
GA version? Making a GA. Who played for, do you know,
Shawnee Johnston, Cavan Kildare.
Cork and Kildare, do you know? Like, that
Yeah.
could be a bit of fun, no?
Grand. I'd
Would be
say
a short
we
round.
wouldn't run out of questions quickly enough there. Would we even get around the table?
Yeah.
Okay, the scores, by the way, if you're just joining us, are forgotten from a couple of minutes ago. Tommy on 3, Will on 2, Shane on 1, as we go to the Pass the Parcel of Doom round. In this round, all you have to do is give me a name that is on a list of names that I have, and the Parcel of Doom passes on to the next contestant, who then also has to give me a name. We will keep moving through the list until one of you gives me an incorrect answer, at which point the parcel explodes and you will all be eliminated and shamed. When 2 players are eliminated, the remaining player gets, as Ger always points out, 1 solitary point. Shane, then Tommy, then Will for the first one. Cities hosting games at the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Shane first.
Paris.
Paris is correct. Saint-Denis, the Stade de France.
Marseille.
Marseille, the Stade de Marseille.
Bordeaux.
The Stade de Bordeaux. They really,
Are you unique with these names?
really smart naming. Just putting a lot of thought and imagination into them. Back to you, Shane.
Leon.
Leon is correct. The OL Stadium.
Do they have a game or not?
Olympique Lyonnais.
Toulouse.
Stadium de Toulouse.
I think Tommy was after me.
Yeah, Will's out.
Oh, Will's out. Sorry.
I was just about to answer.
Claire just let Tommy answer and then move around.
Sorry to have to point it out, but
sorry,
that's what I had on my
fella.
list.
Sorry.
I was
Will.
literally about to say Toulouse.
This
So
is
do I
what
get Toulouse and
happens.
it goes
I
back to
bet he
Shane?
was.
Yeah, Stadium de Toulouse is correct. Tommy, well done for getting that. That was
Thanks.
you really dug that one out.
You're welcome, Tommy.
Shane, after you.
Did Tommy say one there? Oh, he's going to say Toulouse.
He did say Toulouse.
Oh,
yeah.
God's sake.
It's your go now.
Farcical, isn't it?
I don't know.
Perpignan.
No. Tommy gets the point in disgraceful fashion.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous. Clermont and Nice.
Nice is correct. Clermont is not. Lille, Nantes,
Yeah, I'd leave.
Nice, and Saint Etienne.
Disgraceful.
Ones that were left.
I was screwed. I was about to say purple.
Jesus
lads.
Christ. Okay,
Thanks,
the
Will.
next round could be a long one or it could be a short one. Tommy, then Will, then Shane. Pay attention, folks. Hurlers with 4 or more All-Stars. So
Henry.
we're not including the Cuchulainn Award, so we're going back to 1971. Henry Shefflin is correct with the most of them.
Paul Murphy.
Paul Murphy with exactly 4. Should have kept that one in your pocket.
DJ.
DJ, yeah, a load. I didn't write down the numbers, but suffice to say, DJ has many All-Stars.
Tips Owen Kelly.
Tips on Kelly is correct. I'm going to have to get out the old Control F for this one, unfortunately.
It's me next. Joe Canning.
Yeah, Joe Canning's right, yeah. Who did we say DJ?
Yeah. Me next, isn't it? Lar Corbett.
No, I don't think so.
Lads,
I
had so
don't
many
think
others.
so.
Jesus, idiot.
You went a bit too early there. Lar is not right, so we're down to the last 2.
JJ Delaney.
JJ Delaney is correct.
I'll go for Tommy Walsh.
Tommy Walsh is correct, I believe, 9 times.
Tony Kelly.
Tony Kelly, 4, including the last 3 years. But only just. Like 4 All-Stars is kind of incredible. I'm surprised this list is so long.
It is fair going, yeah.
It's a lot.
I think he is 5. John Milan.
John Milan has 5, yeah. So man for a team that never won in All-Ireland.
Yeah.
Noel McGrath.
Noel McGrath, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Relief for Will winning that
I think
round.
it's 3.
No, he is not, surprisingly. Yeah.
Presume there's less footballers with 4 All-Stars.
There is less
given
footballers.
the-
I should find out now in 2 seconds. Pat Hartigan of Limerick won the first 5 years of the All-Stars Award, as did Eddie Kerr. Noel Skehan has a load, the Kilkenny goalkeeper. Martin Quigley, Wexford. Fan Larkin, Kilkenny. Dennis Collin, Cork. Liam Chunky O'Brien, Kilkenny. Joe McKenna, Limerick. Iggy Clark, Galway. Ger Henderson, Kilkenny. Frank Cummins, Kilkenny. Jimmy Barry Murphy, Cork. John Fenton, Cork. Joe Hennessy, Kilkenny. Nicky English, Tipperary. Pete Finnerty, Galway. Joe Cooney, Galway. Ger Cunningham, Cork. Tony O'Sullivan, Cork. Liam Fenley, Kilkenny. Michael Cleary, Tip. Gary Kirby, Limerick. Brian Wheelahan, Offaly. Willie O'Connor, Kilkenny. James O'Connor, Clare. Brian Lowen, Clare. Dermot O'Sullivan, Cork. Brendan Cummins, Tipperary. Michael Kavanagh, Kilkenny. Eddie Brennan, Kilkenny. Ollie Cannon, Galway. Jackie Tyrrell, Kilkenny. Porrick Mar, Tipperary. Richie Hogan, Kilkenny. David Burke, Galway. Brick Walsh, Waterford. Dahi Burke, Galway. TJ Reid, Seamus Callanan, Patrick Horgan and Sean Finn.
Jeez, fair play.
Congratulations to you all on your 4 or more All-Stars, and I'm sorry that the lads had such little clue, but Will gets the point there, I believe.
Yep.
But sure, look at what the individual rewards really matter in the GAA. Sure, it's all about the team.
This is
We'll
it.
find out now in 2 seconds as we
team.
get to question 3. Will, then Shane, then Tommy. Footballers with 4 or more All-Stars.
Oh, no.
Will's first.
So I'm first. So is it Will Tommy, Shane, is it?
Will,
Yeah.
Shane, Tommy, isn't it?
Will, Shane,
Will,
Tommy,
sorry.
yes.
Let's write this down.
Come on, lads. Come on, get to it, lads. Come on, quick.
Stephen Cluxton.
Stephen
No.
Cluxton, yeah. No.
Did you just say no?
I think he has 5 or 6, yeah.
Colm Cooper.
Colin Cooper. The great man.
Tommy's cocky now in this one. We'll see.
Paul Flynn won 4 in a row.
Sure did. And that reckon qualifies him for this list.
Where's Tommy Arca's
I
back?
could find him. I know he's there. There he is.
I'll go for Bernard Brogan.
Correct. And he's right under Paul Flynn. Thanks for that.
Brian Fenton.
Yes, Brian Fenton.
James McCarthy.
James McCarthy.
Do I go with another dub or do I switch it up? I will go Tomas O'Shea.
Yes. Going well so far here.
Yep. Jack McCaffrey.
Jack McCaffrey is right.
Lee Keegan.
Yes.
I'm sure he's for Kieran Kilkenny.
Yeah.
Right.
You're grouping. Do you have any other names that you're just unsure about?
Sean Kavanagh.
Sean Kavanagh with 5 All-Stars, I believe.
Danger here.
I'm stuck between two here. I'm going to go with Alan Brogan.
I don't think so. No. A lot on the table
I'm
here.
sure Alan got 2 at the start and 2 at the end. No.
Well, he's not on the list. Always the first to question the answers when he gets one wrong.
So it's back around to me.
Back to being banned again next week, I think.
It's not like the internet have been wrong.
It's not like you've ever been wrong, Tommy. 3 All-Stars for Alan Brogan.
Disaster.
Porrick Joyce.
No. Lads, this is...
There's
you
a
know
lot
what?
there.
You'll
There's a
be
lot there.
ashamed of yourself.
I had a few there still to go, I think.
Go on, let's see it, Shane.
Well,
Dooher's on it, obviously.
I don't know I don't think he is. Has anybody ever heard of Pat Spillane?
Science Plan,
decent
Jack
modern.
O'Shea?
Oh, we were thinking more modern there, weren't we?
Well, I know, but that was
Idiots.
bad.
Idiots.
Quizzing.
Yeah, that's bad.
Pat Spillane and Jack O'Shea, like, come on. Bomber Liston, John O'Keefe from Kerry, Robbie Keller from Dublin, Paddy Cullen. Paddy,
Sure,
yeah.
no.
Paddy Cullen, Ger Power, Pat Spillane, John Egan, Mikey Sheehy.
Sorry, people of Kerry.
Mikey Sheehy. Martin Furlong.
Jesus.
All right.
Come on.
nice.
No, you got it right, did you? You won.
No, I didn't.
I won.
You got
Shane
points.
won,
I
sorry,
thought
yeah.
Joyce had 4.
Tommy
hold
Drum.
on. Hold on, Shane didn't win.
I did win.
He does get a point, yeah.
Will said Joyce and was wrong.
once you
Last man
once
standing,
he was
yeah.
left.
Yeah,
yeah. But you said Dooher.
Sure, listen.
Yeah, but we were finished at that stage.
Game over.
Tommy
Perpignan.
Drum, Jack O'Shea, Paddy O'Shea, Bomber Liston, John O'Leary, meaning 3 Dublin goalkeepers have 4 more All-Stars.
Lads.
Tony Scullion, Martin O'Connell, Anthony Towell, Peter Canavan, lads, Dara O'Shea, Philip Jordan, Carl Lacey, Keith Higgins, Colin Boyle, and
David
Clifford.
Sorry, Carl Lacey is 4.
18, 19. Oh,
Yeah, he's won 4 out of his 5 years.
Wow.
The COVID year they lost the Cork.
McManus is 3. That was the tricky one. I was going to go say Connor, but McManus is 3.
There you go.
Think.
Well done to Shane. So as we finished that round, much where we started it, they all got 1 each. So Tommy's on 4, Will's on 3, and Shane's on 2. As we
Will's
go
on
to-
2, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's on 3.
Is he? Yeah.
Got 1 there, I guess.
I took my maths down wrong today.
Yeah,
Doing the last
so
round.
yeah, everyone got 1 point there. So there's we're
Okay,
still
sorry.
going.
Yeah, you're right.
The fun-free magic number round. Contestants get 3 points for guessing the number exactly right. If nobody manages that, the next nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points, and the second closest gets 1. You have to accept. I will accept only the answer that's written on your paper, and I'll have to ask for your pens once the music ends. So if you don't mind, give us the following number. The number of points between Kilkenny and Clare in last year's All-Ireland semi-final, plus the number of games the Irish men's rugby team have won in a row, plus the number that Mason Mount will wear for Manchester United, plus the number of penalties scored in the Monaghan-Armagh shootout last week. Your 30 seconds expire when Sinatra sings Bright Shiny Beads. So the gap between Kilkenny and Clare, the number of the number of the winning streak that Ireland are on in rugby. Mason Mount's new number and the number of penalties scored in the shootout last week. Everybody actually has their ears in this week, so you'll know when we're finished, and you have no excuses because of that. Shiny beads, pens down. Tommy.
48.
48. Will?
44.
44.
44.
Damn it, I've gone bust, haven't I?
That's interesting because Tommy has gone bust, which means it's 2 points each.
No, it was not. Oh,
Will and Shane,
We're joint closest.
who are 2 off.
3 of them for a fact.
Tommy was 2 over, and the lads were 2 under. It's 46.
I think I got the amount of penalties wrong here.
The number of points
seven-
between Clare and Kilkenny?
12.
12. Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
It's 10 wins in a row, is it?
10 wins in a row, yeah.
Makes it 8 for that one.
Oh my God, I
Mount's
rubbed it
wearing
out.
7.
12.
The first test against New
7
Zealand
and
is the last
17.
match that Ireland didn't win. Mason Mount is 7, and the number of penalties?
17 penalties.
17.
I
yeah.
underestimated that.
98.
I can't-
8. So there you go. Will sounds like he got lucky there. So 2 points each. Actually, I think makes it very interesting. I haven't got the scores in front of me yet.
I think it's 5-4-4 in favour of Will.
I believe so. I
math
do
is correct.
believe so. Yeah. So. Yeah, they are there. Sorry, Catherine. Yeah, I'm getting a scolding here. Will's on 5, Tommy's on 4, Shane's on 4. As we go on to a very exciting rapid fire round. No team in particular, disputed difficulty rapid fire round. You'll each have a rapid fire round of 20 seconds, 1 point for a correct answer, no minus points. We'll start with the player on the lowest score, which is whoever won the coin toss between Shane and Will, or Shane and Tommy. I'll get to that in a second, and then on to the lowest
Rough
and
device,
like
like.
that. So
Yeah.
let me check the coin toss record. If it is, I've got the wrong names in here. Hold on a second now. If I'm replacing, if it's Shane versus Tommy, then it's Shane who gets to choose.
Oh,
Well, I
right there.
see, this is what you get for being in the studio, Tommy. Privileges. I went first last week and had a stinker of a
You did?
group of questions, and then the second round of questions, there was a snooker question, there was Formula 1, there was Monaghan.
It was nothing to do with you just being
No, of
awful.
course. I'm going to put Tommy in first there. Go on.
Okay, Tommy, are you ready?
Oh, I start immediately.
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Give me,
No,
give me,
10 minutes time.
Panic on his face.
We can
give me
have a chat
second there.
first
Hold
if you
on,
want.
Hold
Just-
on. Hold on, I've got the jitters. Hold on.
It's been a while, Tommy. It's been a while.
Butterflies in the stomach. Okay, all right, go for
You
it.
can hear me okay, can you?
Yeah, but there's a bit of delay in the line.
Get that excuse out of the way. Yeah. Funny, it's only started now, that delay.
Your
up,
20
lads.
seconds starts now. What club does Courtney Brosnan play for?
Birmingham,
No. Who were promoted to the Premier League via the playoffs this year?
Luton,
What club does Conor O'Callaghan play for?
Kula,
Who is the current Open champion in golf?
Ram,
No. Martin O'Neill last managed what club?
Aston Villa.
Oh, was I started? I think
No,
I
you
was.
weren't.
I think I was about. I was just.
well, you-
I was just
you did-
talking, wasn't I?
Ah,
You
lads.
did delay. You were talking.
No,
And you
there was
did
no
delay.
delay.
Lads, we're getting no's from outside the box.
no,
That'll be
you
a
did.
farce now if you give him an extra question.
Come on. I think there's one more
You
question.
gave his answer and he
Oh,
I
look,
can't
I'm being
start.
overruled here, Tommy. Look, I mean, Jojo, Katrin, and the two lads are all shouting at me here. I hadn't started the question. I don't think there was any major delays. Definitely not worth another question. Delays.
Certainly not.
When I said Birmingham, you said
No.
no. You said beat. No.
No,
that's not true. That's not true. I'm not having that.
Rewriting history.
Oh, okay,
Come on,
right.
give us one more.
Your
Give us one more.
scores,
Just
you
for crack.
got Courtney Brosnan plays for Everton, Luton was correct, Kula was correct, Cam Smith is the Open champion, and Nottingham Forest was the last team that Martin O'Neill
it
managed.
is.
And I'm going to keep that other question for next week, although it might be out of date now that I look at it. Anyway,
Go on, give us it. And
No.
then if you don't want to connect,
well, sure, look, you're
Put down his mic.
take
The
your
jitters,
phone.
the jitters.
So that moves Tommy on to
6.
6. Okay,
I've thrown this away.
Shane, are you ready?
Born ready, Tommy Ray.
Okay, your time starts now. Who are the reigning LGFA All-Ireland champions?
Meath.
Conor McKenna plays in the AFL for what club?
Essendon.
No. The 2023 Ryder Cup will take place in what country?
France.
No. Who finished 4th in the Premier League last season?
Newcastle.
Yeah. Who is the top scorer in the 2023 hurling championship so far?
TJ.
No. Who did Munster beat in the URC final?
Stormers.
Yeah.
Well, that's just incredible. I hope somebody has a timer running in the background. How quick Mick's questions were compared to
No,
mine.
not at all. I just butchered the answers. I think.
So he got 3 there, I think. Did you? You got the Stormers. You got Meath. No. No, you only got 2 actually.
No, I got more than 2.
Did you get Newcastle right?
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Okay, so you got 3 right. Okay, so Meath obviously are the
3.
LGFA All-Ireland champions. Brisbane Lions, Conor McKenna plays for since he moved back. Italy is where the Ryder Cup will be. Newcastle finished 4th in the Premier League. Evan Nyland is the top scorer in the championship. He's got like 68 points or something like that. And the Stormers obviously are who Munster beat. That moves you on to 7, I believe, which means Will needs
2 to tie.
2 to tie, 3 to win.
No, he's on 5.
No, it's
he's on 5.
2 to tie, I think,
Yeah,
isn't it?
2 to
5.
tie,
yeah.
3 to win. Okay, are you ready, Will?
Yep.
Your time starts now. Who do Ireland play in the first game of the Women's World Cup?
Australia.
Who won last month's US Golf Open?
Pass.
Who is the Nottingham Forest manager?
Pass. Oh no.
What club does Owen Cody play for?
Ballyhale.
Who were crowned Super Rugby champions last month?
The Crusaders.
What woman has won the most Wimbledon singles titles?
Margaret Court.
No, Martina
That's
Navratilova.
Oh.
It was just about. I knew
Well,
Ballyhale
good
was a
enough.
gimme.
Oh, sorry,
That was-
Ballyhale.
it
And
all
who will
comes
Ireland
down
play
to-
in the first game of the World Cup?
Everyone has gimmies, but that's. I was thinking, would he get the? I was immediately after Steve Cooper thinking, will he get Crusaders?
I don't think me and Tommy had gimmies like the first World Cup match or
Well,
Old
at
Cody's
least-
club.
At least you got more than 4
Easy.
questions.
Yeah.
At least you got more than 4 questions.
Well, Tommy, that's your fault.
That's partly why I passed rather than stalling and going, was
Well,
it Brooks, was it whatever. Thanks.
Congratulations,
Well done.
Wyndham Clark.
Yeah,
I knew the second I wrote that question that nobody would remember him. I thought he might last a year.
I was about to say, it shows he doesn't hold the test of time that a month later I've entirely forgot staying up late that night for Wyndham Clark.
Yeah.
I'm glad Will remembered who Ireland played in the first game in the World Cup because we've only been talking about it for about a year. Do you know? I'm glad he remembered.
Steve Cooper is the manager in Nottingham Forest. Sorry, Forest
Careful
fans, don't attack me. And Martina Navratilova.
Tainted
So
victory.
Will wins. Shane finishes in his customary second place.
Tainted win.
And Tommy
Missed the shot.
Tommy, you started off great. That's all I'll say.
It was not a pleasure.
Hopefully the jitters go away.
Yeah,
Too much coffee this morning.
See you, lads.
Get it wrong, Tommy.
We'll be back with more crappy quiz possibly next week.